Okay, this might be open up a whole new web browser, web podcast stage. So might need to go to the page and actually go and see if there's a new one up and live right now. Okay, so I've seen me on the thing, so we are live, as far as I can tell.
Okay.
Sorry for everybody for that. Did not mean to have that happen. I don't know what happened. It just stops, and it wasn't because the stream live this time.
Looks like we might be live again.
The fuck was that? I have not updated my computer, so it's not like it's my computer either. So
we are up. We are running according to the stealthy. All right.
So I might have to take both these parts and do what I did last time and shove them together again. Great, wonderful, fantastic.
All right. Sound is good. All right. Back to what we were doing.
For anybody not wondering, part 1 is going to be already showing, so go watch that first and come back here and figure out what the hell we're doing. So we're just going to jump right into this. All right, so I got mine up. You ready? And open.
Boom.
Okay, so we're doing day 1 through 3, right?
Yes. 1 through 3.
There's a little button here you push, right? A little.
Yeah, you push the button in.
Now what?
And then you pull it out to you.
Oh, okay.
And then inside you have your little character.
Wow, they are smaller than I thought.
All right, so my day 1 character is Freddy Krueger.
Mine is also Freddy Krueger and the little baggie. So I haven't opened mine yet. So there we go.
Okay.
Day 2.
And day 2 is it is the girl from Beetlejuice. It's Lydia in her red wedding dress.
Nice. I like that one. That's pretty cool.
Yep. All right.
These things are way smaller than I thought they would be.
Day 3. Who do we have in day 3? Uh-oh. Here's Johnny.
Oh, I know. Yep, there's the axe in his hand. Okay, so all mine are in a baggie. Why was day 1 and day 3 already out of the bag?
Yeah, don't you look at me.
Sneak preview before I decided to do this on stream.
Oh.
It wasn't until after I previewed it, I was like, oh, this be great.
Nice.
So, that is day 1 through 3, guys. So stay tuned. On the next one, we will open 4 through 6.
Okay, so these things are
the only one surprised.
I forgot what was in them, honestly.
Okay, well, that works. Mine.
So,
not allowed to know.
Lydia is awesome.
Yeah, Lydia, she's
Lydia is awesome.
She's a great model. These scenes are so itty bitty. Holy goodness gracious! A little bit of distortion on her front of her face there. Just some, like, I guess got scratched up in the making of this. I'm thinking about maybe I could just take some of my paint and fix it up. I really am thinking of, like, taking a model that I already have, like, let's say like this Gundam model right here, and see if I can, like, make it better. Or if I can, do some painting on it to make it look cooler or something like that. But this one has a little bit of blemish on her face. Let me get to Freddy here. My wife will love these because she loves Halloween. So Freddy, get a little closer look for those who are wondering. Freddy, there he is.
Freddy Krueger. Don't go to sleep.
All right. Okay, they do set up pretty good. I'm glad for that. I was worried that we would get one that didn't stand up on his own very well. And lastly, what's this guy's name? Johnny? Is it named Johnny?
Johnny, just Johnny from The Shining.
Okay, but I couldn't remember if his name was just Johnny in the show or not.
It's Jack Nicholson's character. Here's Johnny.
I always thought Jack Nicholson was a very good actor.
He was. He's a great actor.
All right. Johnny does not stay on his feet very well, though. Yeah, Johnny is a troubled man. He does not stay on his feet. Yeah, he just falls. His head's too heavy, apparently. His feet are too small. didn't make it big enough, so you might have to dig sticky stuff for this one. That kind of sucks. Or lean them against
What are
something.
you talking about? I got a 3D printer, fool. I make bases for them.
Oh yeah. Soon you hope we get that one base when we don't get no rush. But yeah, if you get the Johnny one, send it to me so I can get a base for him. If not, like one of those like back things, like the slide behind the feet. If not, one of those things you put them into. But there we go. That was nice. Honestly, I was wondering why the box was so light. I'm like, this thing's so light. Like, how they have full size pop figurines in this things, and were they coming all in their side their boxes, and you just pull the box out? I didn't open it, so I didn't know what was be inside of it. But I'm kind of glad they're small, because honestly, if they were all regular size pop figurines inside these things, there'd be a lot of huge little pops to come out of this.
Yep.
And also, probably, like, realistically, I guess, unless all these things weren't selling very well, probably very expensive for them to put out. I don't know. There's like $20, wasn't it?
Something like that. But I thought it was nice. It'd be something for us to do on stream.
Yeah, it definitely is nice, and my wife should love them. Especially, even I am loving this one. But my wife I don't know if you've seen it. It's a show on YouTube. It's an animated show called Hell of a Boss. Probably right up your alley. Honestly, my wife loves it. If you get a chance, get to watch it. For anybody out there that's interested in Halloween and stuff like that, and scary things, a little bit of comedy, whatever, it's called Hell of a Boss. And my wife decided to buy some of their limited time merchandise yesterday, and she was like, "Should I? It's really expensive." I'm like, "Honey, you gotta support the things you love, and the way you support it is to buy some of their merch. Then do that."
Right.
Has there ever been anything out like stuff out there that you went, okay, I want to support them. How can I support them? And you just bought some things, even if you didn't very much like them. I know she likes them, but like these are not like big big deals.
Let me think about that for a minute. I'm not sure if I've done that or not, if you want me to be honest. Hold on. Have I done that?
What?
Bought some merchandise maybe I didn't necessarily like, but for something I wanted to support.
I'm not answering that question on the grounds of incrimination.
Okay, so apparently, yes, I have.
Okay. So, because like she's always wanted to support Foamy the Squirrel on YouTube. I've always wanted to support, and I have supported Team 4-Star on YouTube. Team 4-Star is the bridge of Dragon Ball Z. I've supported them in ways. I literally, like, no joke, when I first got my first 3D printer, and they were doing a D&D campaign that was pirate themed or sea themed, I literally 3D printed them a dice roller of a pirate ship and sent it to them. So,
nice.
And they actually used it on show to this very day. So if anybody's wondering where that's from, that's actually from this guy. And I've always thought that was, a way of supporting them. And I've always said, if you like somebody, you should support them so they can keep on doing what you're liking. Right? They can't keep on doing it if you don't support them. And that goes back to the Genshin Impact, people giving, people flack for, spending so much money in Genshin Impact. They need those people so they can keep on going. They need that money. Like, whether or not you like the practice or not, they still need that money.
That's true.
So, she was very much, and of course, my wife, anything that's over $1 or free, she thinks it's too expensive. That's just how she is, just naturally. She's a super cheapskate, not like a offshoot cheapskate. No, she's a cheapskate. And me, I'm a person of a mind. Anything to save $1, save $1, I'm okay. But I definitely do believe that you want a good quality item, be sure to save up and get a good item, which is something me and my wife, we finally bit the bullet the other day. We have money in the savings and bought us a modem so we can stop renting the modem we have right now.
Yeah, that sounds good. It's about time.
Yeah, because that's $12 a month, and eventually we'll get that money back in due time as long as we have the same internet. So, I want to jump right into it. Your kids...
Yep.
Have been still playing football. Season isn't over yet.
Yep.
When does the season end?
Not over. Season's not over. The youngest they won their game last night. Surprisingly, he last night and the practice before did much better listening to the coach and doing what needed to be done. He gained some yards and he lost some yards and he snatched some flags. So he did pretty good.
So you got tired of losing.
Right. My oldest, however, was faced with a situation last night that was not. It's very hard for a football team.
Mm-hmm.
So they had 4 of their better players not allowed to play last night because they got in trouble or some various reason at home or at school, which put them down to only having 1 player to substitute for any position at any time. So they very much played Iron Man football last night, and it was very wet, and they suffered their first defeat of the season. I will say that there were a couple of things that probably could have saved the game for them. One of the kids, I would not have wanted to be him going home because his father is one of the coaches, and he made a boo-boo that you just don't make.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a coach's kid, because this is the kind of thing that's drilled in you from day one. So I don't know how many people know this, but if a ball is still moving
in play
at the end of the game, the ground, whatever it's doing, as long as you do not take your helmet off and the whistle has not blowed, the play is still live. At the last minute last night, the last play, there was this incident where the ball was still in play on the ground. The opposing team thought that the play was over, had turned their backs and was walking off to their side because technically it was the last play of the game. One of our kids realized the whistle hadn't blown and the ball still moving, so he snatched it up to run at the same moment that one of his teammates pulled his helmet off. So
while still on field.
When you pull your helmet off, it instantly ends the play. Had he not pulled his helmet off, the kid with the ball could have ran all the way to the other end and made a touchdown without any contest because the other team was halfway across the field to their sideline and had no clue what was going on.
Mm-hmm. So the other team, enemy teams already gave up, and your team, for the most part, was still ready to go, was still jacked up on the energy fuel, ready to get at it. And one of your teammates decided to pull up the helmet. Now, I remember...
Well, he pulled his helmet off because he was frustrated. He thought it was the last play of the game. He thought the play was over. He knew that they had lost. Mm-hmm. So he just snatched his helmet off, in frustration.
Yeah.
And in doing so, had not realized that the play was still live and the other team didn't know it.
Yeah,
which cost us the ability to have possibly made a touchdown and tie the game up and give us a chance to win.
Mm-hmm.
The bad part of it was the kid that got frustrated and snatched his helmet off was one of the coach's kids.
Yeah, and I remember when I was when I did that 1 year of football training or football for my school, my coaches always told me to not pull off your helmet until you are on the sideline and you're off the field. Otherwise, you keep your helmet on. Like, you running from the line of scrimmage to the sidelines, helmet's not coming off until you get to the sidelines. Because somebody, side swipes your ass, or the play's still going, or whatever might happen during that time, that helmet's not on. That's on you, but it's also really bad. So helmet stays on until you get off the field.
Right. So, there's that. Soren ended up being mostly the sub for the night. He was the guy that when somebody got tired, they sent him in to take that person's place. So he played in multiple positions.
For all the roles.
What was really funny was they figured out that the biggest guy on our team is not the fastest guy, of course.
Yeah, of course.
But if he can get his hands on you, you will go down. So, in the process of moving Soren around last night, the coach started telling my child, you don't have to necessarily tackle the guy with the ball, just slow him down so Grady can get to him.
Yeah.
And in doing so, they found a power team. They got one touchdown, but they never got another one because when my kid was in, he was hitting and slowing, and Grady was plowing.
So he was.
Yeah.
Okay,
It got so bad at one point that they started putting 2 or 3 people on my kid because they realized that he was slowing down their player so that our big boy could lay waste. Which was kind of funny.
Yeah.
There was a few moments my kid has had issues with putting his hustle in, if you understand what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
But last night, I will say, on the sideline when he had to move from position to position with the coach to be ready to go in, he hustled. When he went on the field and off the field, he hustled. And when he was trying to hit someone or block someone or slow someone down, he was moving. Now, he did not play as much as all the rest of the players because he was the sub. But they all realized last night that because of them not retaining the preparation that they were given for an event like this where 4 of your best players are not there, it cost them the game.
Yeah.
And then the coach went on to explain to them that from now on, if you do not show up for practice, because some of them have been laying out of practice and showing up for games, you will not play the first half of the game. I don't care if we lose. You will not play. I don't care if you're the best player we got. You will not play. Because there are kids that aren't the best players, i.e. my son, that unless he is sick, legitimately sick, he is at every practice and every game.
So taking the kids with dedication over kids with just natural born talent.
And he went as far to tell them, I'm not teaching you to play football to win. I'm teaching you to play football to learn some responsibility and learn, how to let's see how he said it. What did he say? Responsibility and punctuality.
Yeah, a lot of kids don't understand that nowadays.
He's trying to teach them how to be on time and be responsible for what they're doing. And if you can't be on time and responsible for what you're doing, you will not play the first half of the game. Period. End of discussion.
Yeah, because some of them just think, all I gotta do is just show up to the game, and they'll just put me in there because they know I'll carry what we need to do. I'll do what we need to do. I don't need to practice and know the play, or I don't need to practice and know how to run with a football. They have such high confidence in themselves, and I'm sure because if I had a kid, right, I'd be doing what you do sometimes. Off days where there are no games, I would be still drilling them. I would be still running them. I would still be practicing with them. I would still get them to get the fundamentals down. I would be everything. And as soon as they're on that field, they have it drilled into them so much, so often that they wouldn't even have a moment to not think, okay, what am I doing?
Right. Well, apparently the message has been updated. The coach says, very proud of the effort of our kids in the game. Missing 4 players is very tough on the rest of the team. Moving forward, missing games and practices without a doctor's note will result in a 1/2 suspension in the next game for all players. We will practice Thursday. Hope to see you all there. In other words, You don't show up, you ain't got no doctor's note, you ain't playing the first half.
Yeah, that sometimes I feel like that should be pointed toward the parents. It's like some parents, I'm not a parent myself, so I don't have this full feeling, but I just
I
feel.
agree with what he says to a degree, but at the same time, there's also those parents that have told their children that if you act up in school
Mm-hmm.
or your grades are slipping or this, that, and the other,
This is good punishment.
you're not going to practice, which is a good punishment. But at the same time, now if they try to punish their kid in that way, their kid's not playing the first half of the game.
Mm-hmm. It's a double punishment on top of what
So
they.
it's a double punishment.
Mm-hmm. I'd say like parents is like, hey, my life is more important. Gets in the way of whatever I need to do. So you're not going to the football game because it takes away from what I need to do or what I want to do or my personal life. And I know Celtic was telling me that y'all have a y'all had a sign of papers saying your kids will be at the foot practice and will be at the games.
Yes.
And the parents had to sign that. But I still think some parents out there are just like, I don't care. I'll sign it, but doesn't mean I'll care.
In other news, I just found out, like right before I left work,
Mm-hmm.
that I was selected as a chaperone for my oldest trip to DC in February.
That's cool.
So I will be spending a week with my child in DC in February.
Nice. Okay, so and of course your kids just got into the right now. They're as we're speaking, or right now in the background playing Genshin Impact.
Yes. The youngest logged in maybe an hour ago for the first time. The oldest is sitting right next to him, and I can hear him giving him pointers as they are in there doing their thing. And as I told you earlier, he has his mommy's luck on his welcome wish. He not only pulled Noel, but he also pulled Chung. So out of the gate, 35 minutes into the game, he has Traveler, of course. He has Amber, and now he has Chung and Noel. So he's already at a better standing from the get-go than even I was.
It's just
I don't think anybody can quite match the luck of the stealthy over here. I mean, they hear that magical chime of stealth elf Jade logging in. They're like, throw characters at her, more, give her more. Miss C2 Yomiya in one pull.
well. The event's still going on. I don't know if you got the chance to catch the orchestral or the live orchestra of Genshin Impact.
I got to catch part of it. I did catch part of it. It was really nice. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I really did. I appreciate you sharing the information in which you had gathered earlier.
Of course, because I want to be there, so I want to watch it. I just say this next one. Okay, I know there's gonna be story, but I feel like there was so much like events going on in the game that wasn't like very much details on what the story was going to be. Like I like a lot of the event things that are being putting in the games, but I feel like they're cycling through so many events that it doesn't really put anything like actually new in the game so you could do forever, right? Like I want something they put in the game that will be here it is, and from now on to the end of the days, it will be in the game. And
with they did that with your favorite Fatui Harbinger. You can kill her every day now.
yeah, that was small things, but I want like a big world thing. I need to do something for that, but I did like the upcoming one. The upcoming what do you call it? The pool for the witches. The sets.
I call it a banner. The new banner.
Yeah, it's called a banner. You're right. It is a banner. But the new set coming out with one of our favorite boys from this past expansion, our boy with the spear. Oh, and he looks so good.
I'm so ready.
He looks so good, and he's only a 4-star. Like,
oh, did Stealthy tell you what she already has, or did she leave it out?
Leave what out?
So
Anybody who watched the stream seen it?
She pulled already a orange pole arm waiting for her new boy.
Okay, so she's already prepped for well, okay, doesn't mean it's his best in slot, but I'm pretty sure it's to be damn good.
It's very nice.
I bet. I've been working on getting my pole arm.
Hold on, she's going to enlighten us as to the status of these things.
I don't know. It's not 20. I haven't leveled it up, but it's currently got a base attack at 19 of 129, crit rate of 7.5%. And it says on hit, it increases your attack by 3.2 for 6 seconds, and it can max up to 7 stacks. And it can occur once every 0.3 seconds.
Okay, so that's a very flatline pole arm, so that could be working good on anybody. I don't know about best in stats, but definitely could work on anybody.
It says while in possession of the maximum possible stack, so basically it's already at 21 point. Well, no, a little bit more than that, but it would be like 21 point something. The damage dealt is also increased by another 12%.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, she hasn't leveled it yet, but it looks like it's going to be very nice.
It's the
out of the gate.
Jade Winged Spear.
It's the what?
Primordial Jade Winged Spear.
The Primordial Jade Winged Spear.
Yeah, it looks green and has like little floating little things on the side of it.
Yes.
Okay, that is actually best in slot for I forget the guy with the mask.
Chow.
For Chow?
Yeah, the little the
Adeptus?
the Adeptus. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah,
him.
Adeptus, the Slayer of Demons.
Yes, that's best in slot for him. So if you ever to get him, that's who it possibly should go on. Not saying you
I'm
have
even
to.
more jealous.
So
You're not helping.
I'm not supposed to help. I'm just a person of information. That's all I am.
I will say though, I got my my fishy to max all the way around.
I have a feeling that sword, even though right now it's not best in slot for anybody that I'm aware of, I have a feeling at some point that sword will probably become one of the best in slot for a character out there.
No, that's a fucking insane.
Eventually. But anyways, I want to show this because never mind. I was to show this to my mom, but it just fell and god dang it. Son of a bitch. Alright, Mom, do you have that to look forward to whenever I'm done with it? So yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with Genshin Impact. I just wish they would put out more stuff for the game and everybody get past this whole bad press and MiHoYo decides to get off their ass and actually, just speak about it and to be done with it. Like, okay, we spoke about it. We're done with it. No more talking about it so we can get back to the game and having fun with it. Apparently, I'm not a part of the community because, I'm not a very big streamer or a very big person, but though I will be playing the game after this stream, after I eat and so on. Apparently the community is... Yeah, apparently... apparently the community isn't very... apparently the community is pretty toxic, but I don't think it is. Then again, I'm not really involved with it. So I try to get involved in that kind of stuff too much. I just hear what I hear and I go off of that.
See, the way I feel about it is that I love the game for what it is.
Yeah.
And I know that people can be toxic and anti this and I want that and I deserve and me. So I choose to ignore said people so I can continue to enjoy the things in life in which a sugary corvo as me
sugary
likes to do.
But like this past
$5, guys, $5.
One of the biggest YouTubers, or not YouTube, well, biggest YouTubers / streamers of the game, took a hiatus from the game, from the game and from streaming the last week, and he just started back up. And he's like people don't really like him because he just tells it how it is. He's kind of that kind of person that just like he doesn't really care what too many people say about him too much. Like there's a point for everybody in life. I feel no matter what you do and how much fun you do it, that you can't take it after a while. Like it's like the negative will always shine through in the end, and that's just a sad state of affair. But it's kind of true because jealousy is always a thing, and you know the negative is always much louder in the ear than a positive. You know, you have a million people telling you you're amazing, you're great, you're wonderful, but it just takes like 2 or 3 people to tell you you're this or that, and you're just distraught about it. And that's what pretty much happened to him. And I can totally get that. Even if you know you make thousands of dollars and you have a lot of viewers that just absolutely love your streams and so on, I would be hard pressed to stick around as well if I had people saying these things about me that are, whether they be true or not. Still, it's not something you don't want to very much hear when you have so many other people in your ears saying you're wonderful and great. And he doesn't like people gaslighting. You know what I said when I say gaslighting.
Yes, I do.
So he don't like people gaslighting him, and he don't like people gaslighting other people because he feels like it's just a wrong way to treat people. You shouldn't gaslight people. And I hate to feel like I would ever gaslight to do something that obviously I wasn't really good at in the first place.
See that? I agree.
It's like, hey, you're wonderful, you're great, you're amazing, and then realistically, like, you are absolutely terrible. But they just won't tell you that because they want to stick around. And I say this because you may have heard of it the other week or so, about that one YouTuber online that apparently had, what's the way of saying this? Intercourse with his mother? Do you know what I'm talking about? Okay, so, there's just one guy online. He was a YouTuber for a long time, and quick overall view of this gentleman. He made a comic a long time ago with this Pikachu / Sonic character, right?
Right.
And it turned into a bit of a meme for a little bit, and people want to know who this guy was and made this meme character. And they found out about this person was. And people were putting out false information about him. And he didn't like that. So he put information about him out there for everybody to see, and problem is he put out a little bit too much information about himself. Okay? So he got very well known. And he has mental issues, right? So, he's not all quite there. But he's a dork as well, and he put out too much information. And people started bullying him and egging him onto things. And also, as well, they kept on baiting into doing stuff and like fake girlfriends to him, and he was gullible every single time. And it's like no matter what this guy would do, things would get bad for him again and again and again. And people would keep him around, right? They would keep him around and tell him all these things because they like bullying him and gaslighting him and, telling him these things and getting to do these things in hopes of, of grandeur or getting what he would like. So they would gaslight him to keep around, so they keep on bullying him. And I don't think that's very good. If somebody's not good at something,
it's not a good way to treat someone.
Yeah, if you're gonna gaslight somebody, not tell them the truth, and be upfront with them. But be kind and considerate while you're doing it, but don't gaslight somebody just so you can keep them around and bully them. And there was some good news though. A couple weeks back, there was a gentleman on someone took a picture of a really, really obese guy online or at a party. The guy was dancing. He was really overweight, and the guy's like one photo was him dancing, another photo was him looking down, sad, and kind of distraught because some people he saw some people looking at him and laughing at him, but he didn't know that someone was taking pictures of him. So they posted on 4chan. I'm pretty sure you know what 4chan is, right? I'm not gonna.
Yes.
Okay, so posted them on 4chan to kind of shame this guy, and people started bashing on the guy that was bashing on this dude for dancing, having a good time, trying to lose some weight and dancing and having some fun and so on. So people went on a hunt to go find out who this guy is. They found out later on it took like, several people on 4chan and went to Twitter, and someone on Twitter, broadcast everywhere, and the guy came out like, hey, that was me. And they love this guy so much, and they want to do something good for them. They actually did a party for him in Los Angeles, maybe a year or so back, and had a bunch of like famous stars and artists come to this party just for him, to uplift him for for having fun and dancing, and like that to me is a good thing. Like that's not
That is a
gaslighting.
good thing. It's absolutely a good thing.
So everybody out there is wondering, like, there's different sides of the coins of, you don't ever know what someone's going through. You don't ever know what kind of mental problems someone might have. You don't ever know what their life might be. So don't gaslight people. Like, it doesn't help out anybody by you telling somebody, what they should hear and from what they want to hear. And that they I don't know. I feel like that's another form of bullying.
It is.
So
But most people don't recognize it as bullying because they're like, oh, well, I only said positive things. Yeah, but the positive things, you didn't mean them.
yeah, so it doesn't help out. It doesn't help him. Doesn't help out you. Doesn't help anybody. So just tell the truth. Nothing wrong with that. You're just gonna hurt. You're gonna just hurt the person in the end because they have the thought in their mind is that they're, this terrible things, and they might do something to themselves. And of course, out there, I always say to people, if you have thoughts of suicide, seek help. Nothing wrong with that. Don't let mental health get in the way of your happiness, and don't think it's you can't be saved or be helped. You can always be helped. Seek help if you need help. I know we had some other topics, but I'm drawing a blank on them right now.
Oh, let's see. We have banked wishes.
Okay, there we go. That's what I was trying to remember. Okay, banked wishes. So
back to the topic of Genshin. Because of said new character, our little Polon friend that we were both talking about earlier, I have everybody on the current banner now. So I have started banking my wishes. Would you care to venture how many I have banked, sir?
let's see. 30 or 40?
No. Close though. I'm at like 27, sir.
27 banks. So that's 2 10 pulls.
Yes. I'm hoping to have 3, maybe 4 by the time the banner rolls up.
And do you know when the release is? Because I actually don't know what the release is.
Next week.
Next week. Oh, goodness gracious. That's literally around the bend.
Yep. I have already pulled twice. So I have 20 under my belt with what could be 3 coming. That'll put me at 50, which increases my chances, sir, of earning our friend.
Yes. And of course, if you don't pull them, it's going to be kind of ass. But, all you need is about, let's see, you have 27. You only need about, I'm trying to think in my head here.
3.
No, I'm trying to think of like if you did 90 pulls.
63.
63. So you need 63 more, and you're almost guaranteed at least getting them at least one time out of that.
Well, you got to count the 20 pulls from prior.
Yeah.
So technically, if I have 3 pulls plus those 20, I will have 50, which only leaves 40 to gain.
Well, best of luck. I'm gonna do what I always do and just like keep on pulling until the next one comes out. Now I might have a 10 pull when the next one comes out. I have one right now that I could do because I really would like to have a C2 or C3 of the icy chick, but I doubt I'm ever to pull her again because knowing my string of luck.
She's a whore. You'll pull her.
She's a whore. Oh, that's a way of putting it. I wouldn't mind pulling her again, and I hope I do, and I hope I get another ice character because that's what I want. I want another.
My biggest thing I need right now is billets. I need some book billets, and I need some polearm billets, and I need a claymore billet.
So you try to try. Wait, are you trying to level characters or level weapons?
This is for weapons.
Okay.
So I may be able to go ahead and make my polearm, but I cannot make the catalyst for Inazuma, my frostbearing catalyst, or my claymore for Inazuma until I get the billets. I literally have everything but the billets.
So you can level them up to, like, a star 2 or star 3, right?
Well, the idea is like the Inazuma catalyst will be great on someone like Lisa.
Yeah.
And I would love to have that claymore billet to put on one of my claymore users. The polearm, I don't really have a electro polearm user right now, but I can see it being good for an electro eventually.
Yeah, because it could possibly come out later on for a character that might release, and like
Right.
not know, like, hey, we're about to release this character, and we already have a weapon in the game that would make this weapon just great for, and almost make it
Right.
almost busted. And they've done it in the past games before, where like they release a weapon, like, oh, it's nothing, not a big deal, it's an okay weapon, it's all right, but then they release a character, it's like, yeah, this is God mode for them.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm treating some weapons in the game as like, hey, though it may suck right now in a grand scheme of things, it could become something spectacular.
I would also like to have the catalyst that goes with Sangodomia,
Yeah.
but right now you can only get that through the pull. And I don't want to pull because I'm banking my wishes for something.
Yeah, the weapon pools are always the like I feel like the weapon pools, though I appreciate they have the weapon pools in the game. I feel like the weapon pools are just for those mega wells. Do you know what I'm saying about mega wells? Do you understand
Yeah.
the concept? Okay, so for my out there doesn't understand the mega well concept is for those who have ample money, real life money, to spend on a video game without any really detriment to their livelihood or their average wage. And sometimes it's just good content, for YouTube channels. And I've said this in the past. That's why some people like watching YouTube channels and gaming channels, to see people either get lucky, so like a kind of like a gamble, or to see things that they normally wouldn't be able to obtain. And being a mega well in a video game, you're able to obtain things the average person would not be able to obtain, and they'd like to see what would it be like if I were to obtain that kind of stuff. And also sometimes like, hey, is it worth it? Does Mega Well spend all that money on it? How much they spend on it? Can I afford that much money? So they'll price their the either the good or the bad of doing that kind of things in the video game, whether that would be valuable to them. And
Right.
I think they had the weapons in the game just like that, so they can have those who have too much money be able to buy those weapons in the games, rather than just give you the ability to unlock those rare weapons and then make them yourself. That's what I love about World of Warcraft's mechanics. I like being able to earn the weapons and items in the games just by playing the game and spending that time. That's the way I've always liked games like that. I've always liked crafting armory and weapons in games. Crafting a town or a city or in the little pot area, that to me doesn't really tickle my fancy. I'll do it because it gives me primos, but otherwise I wouldn't do it naturally. And I know Stealthy's been working on your little pottery town more than her own, supposedly, because she wasn't very happy that I was gathering her little pot town the other day so I could get the monthly or weekly thing over with.
Yep.
So yeah, I do you like that in games? Do you like crafting and earning and achieving, or are you?
I do. but I'm much like you. Is like I'm not as into like making a home realm or anything. But when it comes to making weapons or making armor, I love that.
Yeah. So how do you personally feel? This is your stance. How do you feel that they did? Do you feel like they maybe did the best weapons in the game behind a paywall to be beneficial in the overall scheme when they already have a very good scheme of character unlocking?
I don't know, man. Um,
He can't talk. He's gotten 2
I
oranges.
can't say anything to the negative because I've pulled 2 oranges off of a pull.
Did you do it
You
off the
know,
weapon one?
I got the sword that you have for Gene,
Yeah.
and then I also have a orange book for Mage that I got off of pulls that I did not, that were off of normal pulls. They weren't off of weapon pulls.
Okay, so you have done a weapon pull.
Yeah. No, I'm saying not on a weapon pool. I've done this out of character pools. I got
Okay.
an orange out of character pools. So I can't say that they've locked all the best weapons behind like a character pool. I mean a weapon pool because I've gotten good weapons in the regular character selections.
Yeah, good enough weapons.
Well, I don't know, man. That book and that sword's really nice.
Yeah, but
Really, really nice.
they normally
Matter of
put
fact, both of them were featured at one point in the weapon pools, but they have been since moved to be
removed.
able to be pulled in the regular pool.
Okay, so you like it that they eventually move it to the regular pools, not that it's always in the
Right,
regular pool.
right.
Eventually.
Because to me, they give the people that have the money the ability to buy them, but they didn't take it completely out of the realm of chance for people that don't have the money not to get them because they eventually move them over to the regular pools with the characters, so you still have a chance.
Okay, I get that. Oh yeah, I get that. I just don't like to have a separate category for it. I wish they would just put like, hey, either have a chance of putting a 6-star character or a 6-star weapon. Like that to me should just be one thing, and then you get lucky.
If you're one of those people that's okay, well, I've got this one character. I don't care if I get it to C2, C6, whatever. Then that works perfectly well for you. But if you are one of those people, then it doesn't work.
I feel like what they did was try to hit a happy medium.
Mm-hmm.
I think they tried to give the ability to the people that, yeah, you got this great character. You don't really care if you get it to C2 or C3. The ability to pull just for weapons so they can get the weapon they want. But at the same time, they left the ability for those people that want the ability to have both open in the regular pulls.
Like you're forgetting also about people that main specific characters.
Like
They
me.
don't have a reason to go
Yeah.
full.
Like you, you main certain characters. So in reality, once you have those characters, you don't have to spend your wishes pulling for more characters. You now have the ability to pull solely for weapons that may benefit those characters.
Yeah. But a lot of them are now released on to the regular pool slot area, and the new weapons are in the weapon slot. So unless those weapons somehow are better or they get better, normally they release weapons, as far as I understand. Weapons in the bundle section are best in slot for the characters that are in the banner section. So normally you want to try to pull them at the same time so you can have, if you're trying to get like min-maxing at the very beginning, you have the best weapon on the best character almost day one.
Right.
So I can see that. And then again, I like crafting in the game, and I feel like there should be some, like, not just okay weapons. I like earning the best things.
The only thing that bugs me really, and I get it if people don't agree with me, that's fine. I do not like the fact that you only have a set number of billets you can buy at a town.
Mm-hmm.
Once you've bought those billets, you have to do certain dungeons or certain boss fights to get any more billets until they open the next town. I don't like that personally because you've given me the ability to craft something, but now you've tied my hands on being able to get all the stuff I need to craft it whenever I need to.
Yeah, and try to get those billets to drop are kind of hard.
Like look, my current predicament is I'm at Inazuma. They hadn't even opened up the shops for you to be able to buy from Inazuma yet.
No.
Because you have to finish the Sakura tree first, which has not been completely unlocked yet either. So I've bought all the billets at the previous towns. The only way I can get a billet now is to steadily grind bosses or dungeons to try to get that billet to drop. And the percentage rate on those billets is relatively low in my experience. Some people may be really lucky with it, but I haven't got a single billet drop of what I need since I've bought all those others.
Okay, so I heard somebody the other day bring this up, and I don't really know if I necessarily agree with this, but somebody brought this statement up, and though I may not agree with it, I would like it to happen because it sounds like really nice. Do you think at this juncture, a lot of the old world bosses, no words here, old world bosses should be free to battle to get their items without use of resin? You know what I'm saying? Like the fire tree, the ice tree, the electric and wind cube, the dragon from the first first real boss in the game. Like, do you think some of those should be at this juncture just free? Because at this point, it feels like they're just holding that as a gating system.
I see that as being a nice benefit to you, but I also, again, from the IT standpoint, understand kind of why they did it. If those bosses were completely free,
would you come back?
Everybody would be hammering those bosses all the time to get drops, which puts a load on the hardware that's supporting those specific bosses all the time. Okay? So they're stage gating it both for themselves to keep the hardware, you know?
Yeah.
And for people to have the ability to go to that boss when you have the resin whenever you need to and not experience severe lag because everybody and his brother is trying to get that boss.
Okay. Because a lot of times I feel like once I'm done with my resin for the day in the game, and if there's not an event going on, I feel like sometimes when the in-game players say, I feel like there's something not like at that point. It's like, what am I gonna do? Just run around and trying to find treasure?
And
like,
I understand that.
I'm
run into that same situation.
I hate that
I
feeling.
run into that same feeling.
Like
I do.
I can find something to do. There's always something to do, but just finding it, it's like I could go out there and farm for weapons or greens of artifacts and level up my artifacts. But if I was somebody in game, I would literally be sitting on my hands going, I already have all my artifacts at level 20, all my weapons at level 20. I have all the characters I want. What is it to do now? I have no resin. Like, you want me to go buy some resin? I feel like that's a little scandalous. Make me go.
I don't
buy
feel like they should open up all the world bosses, but I think they should make one dungeon in each area, just one, free to do.
Free to do, or maybe, I don't know, just like give me one resin per dungeon run. One, at least, so I can earn resin.
Semi recoup what you're spending, yes.
Yeah, like just like, hey, I could do this one dungeon, do it like 10 times to get me 10 resin so I can maybe do one thing. That's the free dungeon, because I'm not going to spend resin going into a dungeon just to get one resin return. But again, it might not be a bad thing if I go to a dungeon where I'm spending 20 and they give me 2 back. It's like, hey, you spend 20, here's 2 back. So maybe eventually you have enough to do another one at a later date or accumulate them.
Right.
Because the resin really, like, it at some point it does feel like it's a bit of a time gate. Like, rather than it's like the football analogy. Rather than just knocking you on your ass and give you nothing to do, they'll slow you down so it takes you longer to do it.
Yeah.
And then once you're at the field goal line, well, then there's nothing else to do now. You're over the field goal, and now you have nothing to do. Like that, they're trying to slow you down so you don't burn through the content. But you always have other characters you can work on, you know?
Right.
Because I do. I focus on very few characters. I still have plenty of characters I can work on if I had the means. It's not like I wouldn't play the game more often, or play the game for longer periods of time if I had more stuff to do. But sometimes I
Right.
feel like all I want to do is just use my resin and then get those things done, and I'm like, okay, I'm off. I hate that feeling.
Yeah.
I want to play more. I want more reasons to play the game. That's why I said
Right.
earlier I want something that can do something from here on out. Like, here's something new that will always be in the game, and that's what I
Right.
want.
I get that.
More stuff like that, Mahoyo. So, we're gonna call it there because unless you have do you have one more topic? I don't think we did
No,
another
I'm
topic.
good. I'm good.
Thank you for all those coming tonight. I do appreciate it. Sorry for part 1. I don't know what happened. I'm still fucking confused. My OBS didn't crash. My Opera didn't crash. My internet didn't crash because I was still talking to Corvo the entire time. And for some reason, maybe had to end my stream, get it, and reset my code, and start all over again. I'm so confused what happened there. So if you haven't already hit the like button on this one, be sure to hit the like button. Go back to part 1. Watch that one. Hit the like button. Leave a comment. Because I don't really know if I want to take both of these and smash them together just to lose what retention I had on those. So be sure to share this with your friends, family, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I don't care how you share it. Just share it. Tell everybody. Please help this channel grow. Please. I can't do this by myself. Corvo can't do it by himself. Help us out.
Nope.
But as
We
always,
need you.
have a good day, have a good night, and have a good life. Much love, y'all. And bye.